Welcome back, faith builders. We continue a journey through the first book of Adam and Eve, exploring chapters 41 to 50. These chapters are filled with profound lessons on resilience, faith, and the human spirit's strength. Let's dive in. Our story resumes in chapter 41. Adam and Eve took the figs and lay them in the cave, and the size of the figs was like watermelon. For the fruits of the garden were much larger than the fruits of this land. But they remained standing, fasting, and praying till morning dawned. When the sun rose, they decided to go to the border of the garden looking south where the river flows, parted into 4 heads, and prayed to Elohim, asking him to give them a drink of the water of life. For Elohim did not give them the fruit of life. Maybe he will give them from the water of life. Adam prayed and continued to remind Elohim of how they were in the garden and did not desire food or water to drink, pleading for mercy and for Elohim to take them to another land. This chapter highlights the importance of seeking mercy during trying times and reminds us that divine reassurance is always within reach if we seek it. In chapter 42, then the word of Elohim came to Adam and said, O Adam, it is only in the kingdom of heaven ye shall find rest. But thou canst make thy entrance into it at present, but only after thy judgment is past and fulfilled. Then will I make thee go up into the kingdom of heaven, the unrighteous seed, and will give thee and them rest that thou asked. And for the water of life, thou asked, it cannot be given this day, but the day that I shall descend into hell, and break the gates of brass, and bruise in pieces the kingdoms of iron. Then will I in mercy save the soul and the souls of the righteous, to give them rest in my garden. And that shall be when the end of the world will come. Elohim said regarding the water of life he requested, it shall not be granted thee, but on the day I shed my blood upon thy head in the land of Golgotha, for my blood shall be the water of life unto thee at that time, and not to thee alone, but of thy seed who shall believe in me, that it be unto them forever. O Adam, drink from the water that flows by the face of the earth. Then Elohim withdrew his words. Adam and Eve worshipped Elohim and returned from the river of water to the cave. It was noonday, and when they drew near, they saw a large fire by it. Chapter 43. Adam and Eve were afraid and stood still. Adam said to Eve, What is that fire by our cave? We do nothing in it to bring about this fire. We neither have bread to bake therein, nor broth to cook there. As to this fire, we know not the like, neither do we know what to call it. But ever since Elohim sent the cherub with a sword of fire that flashed and lightened in his hand, from fear of which we fell down like corpses, have we not seen the like. Adam kept complaining to Eve that Elohim was angry and had sent it to destroy them, for breaking his commandments and to wipe them off the earth. Then Adam said no more. They kept looking towards the cave and at the fire that flared up around it. But the fire was from Satan, for he had gathered trees and dry grasses and had carried and brought them to the cave and set fire to them in order to consume the cave and what was in it. So Adam and Eve should be left in sorrow and cut off their trust in Elohim and make them deny him. But by the mercy of Elohim, he could not burn the cave, for Elohim sent his angel around the cave to guard it against such a fire until it went out. The fire lasted from noon until the break of the day. In chapter 44, Adam and Eve were standing and looking at the fire, unable to come near the cave from their dread of the fire. Satan kept bringing trees and throwing them into the fire until the flame thereof rose on high and covered the whole cave. But the angel of Elohim was guarding it, yet could not curse Satan, nor injure him by word, because he had no authority over him, neither with words from his mouth. The angel bare with him, without saying one bad word, until the word of Elohim came, who said to Satan, Go hence, once before didst thou deceive my servants, and this time thou seekest to destroy them. Were it not my mercy, I would have destroyed thee and thy host from off the earth. But I have patience with thee, unto the end of the world. Then Satan fled from before Elohim, but the fire went on burning around the cave, like coal fire the whole day, which was the 46th day since they left the garden. When they saw the heat of the fire cooled down, they walked towards the cave to get into it, but could not, because of the heat of the fire. They both wept, and Adam said to Eve, "See the fire of which we have a portion in us, which formerly yielded to us, but no longer does so. Now that we have transgressed the limit of creation, changed our conditions, and our nature is altered, now has power over us, and we come near it, and it scorches our flesh." In chapter 46, Adam and Eve come into the cave, and when they came between the fire, Satan blew into the fire like a whirlwind, and made Adam and Eve a burning coal fire, so that their bodies were singed, and the coal fire scorched them. From the burning of the fire, Adam and Eve cried aloud and asked Elohim for help. Then Elohim looked down upon their bodies and sent his angel that stayed the burning fire, but the wounds remained on their bodies. Elohim said to Adam, "See Satan's love for thee, who pretended to give thee the Elohim head and greatness. And behold, he burned thee with fire and seeks to destroy thee from the earth. Then look at me, I created thee, and how many times have I delivered thee out of his hand? If not, would he not have destroyed thee?" Elohim said to Eve, "What did he promise thee in the garden, saying at the time, Ye shall eat of the tree? Your eyes will be opened, and you shall be like gods, knowing good and evil. But lo, he has burnt thee with fire, and made ye taste the taste of fire, for the taste of the garden. And he made you see the burning of fire, and the evil thereof, and power it has over you. Your eyes has seen the good he has taken from you, and in truth he has opened your eyes, and seen the garden in which ye were with me. And ye also see the evil that has come upon you from Satan. But as the Elohim head, he cannot give it to you, nor fulfill his speech to you. Nay, he was bitter against you, and your seeds that will come after you. And Elohim withdrew his word from them." Chapter 47. Adam said to Eve, "The fire burnt our flesh in this world, but how will it be when we are dead, and Satan shall punish our souls? Is not our deliverance long and far off, unless Elohim comes, and in mercy to us fulfill his promise?" Adam and Eve passed into the cave, and blessed themselves for coming into it once more. But as the sun was setting, the fire was still burning and nearing Adam and Eve in the cave, so that they could not sleep in it. After the sun had set, they went out of it. They came under the top of the hill by the garden to sleep. They stood and prayed Elohim to forgive them their sins, and then fell asleep under the summit of the mountain. But Satan thought within himself, whereas Elohim has promised salvation to Adam by covenant, and that he would deliver him out of all hardship that has befallen him, but has not promised me by covenant, and will not deliver me out of my hardships. Nay, since he has promised him that he should make him and his seed dwell in the kingdom in which I once was, I will kill Adam. The earth shall be rid of him, and shall be left to me alone, so that when he is dead he may not have any seed left to inherit the kingdom that shall remain my own realm. Elohim will then be in want of me, and he will restore me to it with my hosts." In chapter 48, Satan called his hosts, all of which came to him, and said unto him, "O our Lord, what wilt thou do?" He then said to them, "Ye know that this Adam and Eve, which Elohim created out of the dust, is he who has taken our kingdom. Come, let us gather together and kill him, or hurl a rock at him and at Eve, and crush them under it." When Satan's hosts heard these words, they came to the part of the mountain where Adam and Eve were asleep. Then they took a huge rock, broad and even, then told his hosts to take up stones and throw it flat upon them, so that it roll not from them to somewhere else. And when ye have hurled it, flee and tarry not. And they did as he bid them. But as the rock fell from the mountain upon Adam and Eve, Elohim commanded it to become a kind of shed over them, that did them no harm, and so it was by Elohim's order. But when the rock fell, the whole earth quaked with it, and was shaken from the size of the rock. As it quaked, it shook Adam and Eve awoke from sleep and found themselves under a rock like a shed. They were confused, afraid, and didn't know how it all came about. Adam said to Eve, "Wherefore has the mountain bent itself, the earth, quaked and shaken on our account? Does Elohim intend to plague us and shut us up? Elohim is angry with us for having left the cave without his order." And Eve agreed with Adam. But arise, Adam, and pray to Elohim, to let us know concerning this, and what this rock is, that spread over us like a tent. Then Adam stood and prayed before Elohim to let him know about this strait. And he prayed till morning. Chapter 49. The word of Elohim came and said, O Adam, who counselled thee, when thou earnest out of the cave, to come to this place? And Adam said unto Elohim, O Elohim, we came out because of the heat of the fire that came upon us inside the cave. And Elohim said unto Adam, O Adam, thou dreadest the heat of fire for one night, but how will it be when thou dwellest in hell? Yet Adam, fear not, neither say in thy heart that I have spread this rock as an awning over thee, to plague thee therewith. It was from Satan. He threw down rocks to kill thee under it, and Eve with thee to prevent you from living upon the earth. But in mercy for you, just as the rock fell down upon you, I commanded it to form an awning over you, and the rock under you to lower itself. And this sign, O Adam, will happen to me at my coming upon the earth. Satan will raise the people of the Jews to put me to death, and they will lay me in a rock, and seal a large stone upon me. And I shall remain within that rock 3 days and 3 nights. Not on the 3rd day I shall rise again, and it shall be salvation to thee, O Adam, and to thy seed, who believe in me. But I will not bring thee from under this rock until 3 days and 3 nights are past. Elohim withdrew his words from Adam. Adam and Eve remain under the rock for 3 days and nights, just as Elohim had told them. And Elohim did so to them, because they left their cave and had come to this same place without Elohim's order. After 3 days and nights, Elohim opened the rock and brought them out from under it. Their flesh was dried up, and their hearts were troubled from weeping and sorrow. In chapter 50, Adam and Eve went forth and came to the cave, and they stood praying in it the whole of that day, until the evening. This took place on the 50 days after they left the garden. But they rose again and prayed to Elohim in the cave the whole of the night and begged for mercy from him. And when the day dawned, Adam said to Eve, Come, let us go and do some work for our bodies. So they went out of the cave and came near the northern border of the garden. And they sought something to cover their bodies withal, but they found nothing and knew not how to do work. Yet their bodies were stained, and they were speechless from cold and heat. Then Adam stood and asked Elohim to show him something wherewith to cover their bodies. Then came the word of Elohim, and said unto him, O Adam, take Eve and come to the seashore, where ye fasted before. There ye shall find skins of sheep, whose flesh was devoured by lions, and make raiment for yourselves, and cloth yourselves withal. The journey of Adam and Eve, as depicted in these chapters, is one of profound transformation and growth. Their experiences teach us valuable lessons about resilience, faith, and the enduring power of hope, mercy, and prayerfulness. Remember, no matter the challenges, we can always find a way forward. Elohim is willing and ready to answer all your prayers made from a pleading and pure heart. May the love Elohim has for us never cease in Yahushua's name. Amen. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more captivating tales from ancient texts. See you next time. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are and how these relate to your journey walking with Elohim.